Will I see it pop up here?
Oh, we are live.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. We are live, and we're gonna play some music.
I didn't know it was a party.
While we
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh, I can't hear you.
All right, are we back?
I also don't know how to share this video.
Play some music.
I didn't know it was a party.
While we
There we go.
I hear you. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. Sorry.
We're getting multiple feedback here, so I'm gonna go back into the live screen.
All right. I can't hear you.
Hey, Patrick, mute that Facebook video so it doesn't get feedback from your laptop. All right, are we back?
I also don't know.
Mute the Facebook video as you're sharing it because it's live already. Hey, everybody, we're back on the Janchi Show launch week
I
celebration.
can hear you now. Oh, wait, there we go.
There we go. Patrick is
I'm having technical difficulties trying to share this video.
He's had technical difficulties every time we record it, so.
I just ate an entire pepperoni pizza, so I'm a little bit slow.
That's too many pepperonis. So anyway, for everybody watching either on the Janchi Show page or on my personal page or on Patrick's personal page, welcome to day 2 of the Janchi Show launch week celebration. Today we have, this is the content I signed up for. What did you sign up for, KJ?
This is exactly what it was.
And then since Emily Page says not surprised when we talked about
oh,
you got your friends and your
survivors. He's not even watching this.
Your future wife just under the bus. This is fantastic. We wanted to spend the next 10 minutes or so learning about Patrick a little bit, sharing with you what we're doing on the show. You got a moment, you're joining us for the first time, and you're like, what the hell is Jerry doing? We launched a new show this week. It's called the Janchi Show. And so you can visit us right here at Janchi Show. My finger won't, there you go, finish my finger. You can follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at Janchi Show. Patrick, what does Janchi mean?
Janchi means a feast or a celebration, and that's really what we do on this show. We're celebrating our Korean identities, our adoptee identities, and the American part of that identity as well. And we're feasting while we do it.
So, how do we meet?
We met because I wanted to watch or listen to, more so, a show about Asian Americans, I guess, and I typed in the words Asian American podcast into Stitcher's search feature, and your show popped up first. And I listened, and I was profoundly affected by the first episode. And I reached out to that guest, who then in turn reached out to you. And then about a few weeks later, we were on the phone.
And then a few weeks later, here we are.
It really is that short. Really was that quick.
And then a few weeks later, I said, hey, why don't we start a podcast with everybody? And then you said immediately yes, which was fantastic. So share with the audience here, your friends and mine who are watching us on Facebook. We got 9 people watching. Hey, throw some emojis, throw some questions into the text box, if you will, please. Ask Patrick some questions. Maybe he'll freestyle for us.
I don't know about maybe. Maybe.
SoundCloud savant up in here with us. Share with us what your episode was about today. What did we talk about, and what did we eat for the first time today?
My episode today was about growing up in Rensselaer, Indiana, doing all the stuff I did after college, including rapping for a little while, going to Houston, and then really about starting the foundation that we started in Chicago, the All Times Are Local Foundation, and then now being on this journey. and we ate Nongshim's shrimp crackers, which were very good. 4.75 shrimps because it was not easy to open the first bag. It was a little bit difficult.
That means that the freshness and the taste are sealed tight within the packaging.
That's true. They were very fresh and they were very tasty.
It wasn't flimsy, flimsy packaging. I apologize. This is I've been talking literally all day, so my voice and my thought process is not tight, and hence my 805 beer. Hey, tell us about the Alzheimer's Local Foundation. What do you do? Why'd you start it, and why is it important to you?
Yeah. So my sister and I are adopted, and we were fortunate enough to be adopted into a family that was able to provide a lot of opportunities for us and lay us a really solid foundation. And when in 2017, when I went to Houston and did volunteer work, I was kind of in a weird place in my life, just didn't know what I wanted to do. And going down there really showed me that that was the type of work that I wanted to do. I wanted to help people in some way. And so my sister and I worked together, figured out, a community that was really close to us that really could use a lot of different solutions. And that was the older foster youth community. Mm. And doing a lot more research, one of the best things that I learned was, find one problem first and fix it. Don't try to solve everything at once. And so we settled on trying to fix the communication problem. Essentially, getting phones and service that's not going to get shut off into the hands of older foster youth. And by doing that, we hope to get them connected to their resources, be able to get in contact with whenever they need, if it's an emergency, if it's just to even just chat with someone, And so we started that in Chicago in 2019 or last year. And we're at 48 participants now, just over a year in. So it's going pretty well.
That's really awesome. How did and you mentioned specifically that you and your sister, non-biological, however, both adopted. How was that identity and experience important or contributing to the fact that you wanted to help older foster youth, for whom really, as you shared with me previously, communication is actually their biggest problem, or communication tools rather?
Yeah. So I think what makes it personal for me specifically is that while I did grow up with a lot of these opportunities, I know what it's like to feel like you don't know where you're going or what your next step is going to be. And while I always had the benefit and the privilege of having communication and having a lot of resources and connections to meet with people and do things, these kids don't have that. And they're coming out of a system where, unfortunately, more often than not, they're not going to be set up to succeed outside of that. And they're probably not on a path where they're going to go have the opportunity to go to a post-secondary and get an education that way. Thrust into the world without, a leg to stand on, essentially. And so I think that was really what, for me, is the driving force of what I want, why I want to help this particular community. And then communication, just while we want to fix this one problem, for example, we found a lot of kids that were using Facebook Messenger or just email when they had Wi-Fi as their main mode of communication. And today, that's really not feasible. Even if you're trying to go to school, you are looking at your schedule on your phone, most likely, or whatever you can get access to. And if you have a phone that doesn't just connect to Wi-Fi, but connects to a whole cellular service, then you have access everywhere, and you're not going to miss important deadlines. You're not going to miss doctor's appointments. You're going to be able to call Uber or a rideshare to take you somewhere. And so communication helps solve a lot of other things. And by keeping the same phone number for an extended period of time, and then once you get out of our program, continuing to have that number, continuing to have that tether of communication to your old resources that should now hopefully be a foundation to go off of, they'll be able to do that and hopefully be a little closer to achieving the success that we all want to achieve.
That's really awesome. We're going to put the website to his foundation right here. It's alltimes or local.org. You're taking financial donations, but you're also taking cell phone donations. You're also
Yes, that's
taking
correct.
accessories. Share with us why those are important, especially the accessories and the chargers part. We don't really think about it. We have drawers full of these, all of us at home. Why is that important, critical piece to your mission?
Yeah, accessories are extremely important just because, just like Jerry said, you don't think about having access to these things and how if you lose one, it's easy to just think you could go to the store and get one. When you don't have an income really and you have maybe a child that you're taking care of, it's not so easy to just go and get that. And so kids can always use an extra charger. Another thing they can always use is a case for your phone. Because again, this is an accessory that you don't think about spending, $20 on to go get something like that to protect your phone. And the unfortunate thing is that sometimes your phone breaks, your stuff happens to it, and we can all benefit from having a case. And those are just little things that help, make things last a little bit longer, help to keep things going, especially in a situation where it could be an emergency. And your phone's dead because you didn't have a charger or you left it somewhere else, and now you have a backup, so maybe you can get out of that or have a way to get out of that situation. So that's why accessories are important, especially those two types of things. Screen protectors, anything, even just the charging blocks. We can always mix and match and put things together and ship those out whenever anybody needs them. So
awesome, man. Let's talk about the show.
all right.
So we've, to give everybody context, we recorded 3 episodes. It's all going out this week. Yesterday was Big Papa Nathan. Today it's you, Patrick, and tomorrow it's KJ. And in the coming weeks, we're going to talk to a lot of other fun folks, maybe adoptees themselves or other people within the community. What's been the biggest lesson that you've learned, and also what's been the coolest thing about the whole thing so far?
Biggest lesson I've learned. That's a great question. I don't really know what the biggest lesson I've learned is. I think I'm still learning lessons on the show. The coolest thing that we've done, though, is try the food at the end. I mean, so I don't want to say that because we've been doing these host-focused shows and we're talking to each other where we've heard our stories on your show and we've done other things and we've gotten to know each other. So it's a little bit of rehashing, but it's been fun to have these conversations. Thinking back a month and a half ago, we've met one time over a Zoom call and have never talked to each other really outside of that. And to come from that point to here has been really cool to see. And then to be trying these new things with each other is also really hilarious. Trying like just kimchi and just these basic Korean staples that even most people have probably had, but I'm over here not ever having had any of that stuff. And so it's stuff that I would probably just turn a blind eye to in a normal situation where I'm running and embracing this. And it's really fun to do that.
Nathan does not want to be Big Papa. He wants to be called Big Hound. Yes, sir. Heard you loud and clear. You actually, for what it's worth, might be one of the very handful of Koreans for whom his first kimchi eating experience was captured on film.
Maybe. I don't know if that's good or bad. That might be bad.
No, there's no good or bad. It's just cool, especially at age 30. So
that's true.
This is not a mirror, Patrick. This is not an opportunity to put your hair on.
It's looking weird. I don't like it. Trying to get it up.
No. Share with the audience as we wrap up here. What can they look forward to? Why should they subscribe? You can subscribe to our show here at janchishow.com. There you'll find the links to Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, everything. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. YouTube, check out YouTube. A lot of funny videos there. Why should people listen, and what gets you excited?
I think people should listen because while there's a lot of podcasts coming out right now and there's a lot of great content out there, we're doing something just a little bit different. And we are on a journey together that I think a lot of people can relate to. And I think that it's stories that you don't necessarily hear all the time. But it's also going to be stories that, you may have heard, and that's why you can relate to it. And then we'll have some fun guests on as well, who you never know. You never know. It's just a big old mystery every single time, and that's what makes the show fun and exciting. What I'm excited for is just to try some of these new foods. We've had one episode, and we've already had multiple suggestions of things that we should try and eat and do that. So I think that's exciting. I'm excited to get into this roster of guests that we have lined up and start talking to them and learning even more and having fun with them. And then I don't know. I don't want to give it all. I don't want to give away the whole bag.
And if you got suggestions for guests for food, email us, chanchishow@justlikemedia.com. All four of us have access to that email, so a strange person might respond to your email. Same goes for our Instagram. Whoever gets to it first gets to respond, which has been a lot of fun. And so tomorrow, get excited for episode 3. It's KJ's episode. And get excited tomorrow for 2 things. One, we drink soju soju on the show live on TV, and that's going to be on YouTube. And then at 9 a.m. Pacific and at noon Eastern, in whatever time zone you might be in, we'll bring KJ on for his launch week interview, and we might have some special guests. So come join us tomorrow. It's a real surprise guest.
We do have our first guest on tomorrow's show as well. We have a sneak surprise guest on episode 3, so you've got to come back for that.
It's definitely not me drinking soju, which is one of my favorite things to do in life. But thank you, Patrick. I can't say this enough. This has been an honor for me to be a part of, to witness this virtually front row, and then to play a small role in making this happen has been a real true joy and a big blessing and an honor for us as a family, and my family, and for me particularly. So thank you for coming into my life, and thank you for not saying no, and thank you for saying yes to my crazy idea of putting a show together for everybody. Please, please, please share this. If it's not for you, share with somebody in your life that's going to resonate with this. There have been historically almost 250,000 Korean adoptees globally spread out the world. And if we count the other transracial and transnational adoptees in the world, we're talking millions. It's a unique experience I don't understand, but it is a unique experience that Patrick, KJ, and Nathan understand because they've lived it, and they want to share their stories with you, with the world, and for the single purpose that it's going to make somebody feel less alone in what they're going through, and to build community, and to have a little bit of fun along the way, to eat something new, to drink something alcoholic, and make some memories along the way. So let us know again through this email address if you have any suggestions for food, if you have any suggestions for guests. If you want to support the show by becoming a partner with us, if you want to send us some free stuff, we'll wear it, we'll drink it, we'll eat it, we'll review it. Let us know.
We'll have fun.
Yeah, come back tomorrow in very short amount of time. I can't do the math in my head. 15 hours where we'll have KJ on here live and in person. And so thank you, Patrick.
Passing the mic to KJ.
Thank you to people who've been watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Subscribe, rate, review, and we'll just have a lot of fun along the way. Thanks, Patrick, and we'll see you
guys. Thanks, Jerry.